Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. I don't know if you're going to have Turpin and Sanders a little nicked up, and like Wanye is going to start at safety. So what do you do at kick returner?
Yeah, we've been repping a whole bunch of guys. I think it kind of came up last week too that we utilize a lot of guys, make sure that they're catching them, getting them in practice because we rotate them through, and then get them after practice too, getting on jugs.
Isaiah Davis, one of the better returners in the game right now for the Jets. How do you manage him? I think you guys have a plan each week for the kickoffs.
Yeah, we move guys. I think a lot of teams mix it up a little bit here with personnel. Again, sometimes that's based on injury, and you got to go with what you have. And sometimes we'll move guys around. But he is a good returner. We had a couple missed tackles last week. One was particularly on the first, or two of them were on one play. So we just got to wrap up, bring our feet, stay aggressive like Maris did on that one punt. You know, obviously you want to bring force like that, but you got to wrap up too. I think we had 3 missed tackles, so we just got to finish.
Todd Archer with ESPN. Why are block kicks up in your mind when you look across the league?
I think people are just finishing. I think it's early in the year too. I think a lot of times that evens out. You don't get as much of that full speed block practice in the preseason or even in practice too. So I think it'll even out as the year goes. But I don't want to take credit away from the guys that are doing it. I think guys are just getting better at finishing, and whether it's a field goal, getting up, and there's some scheme involved too with some of them, obviously. But I think a lot of times that stuff will even out as the year goes.
DJ was saying this. It seems like guys are trying harder at it now. Sometime maybe back in the day it was like a little bit of a give up.
Don't say that. What, we didn't try back in the day? Come on, man. What are you saying? We were slow and we weren't strong. The guys back in the day, no. No, I mean, you can change the game. You know, I think that was a huge part of it. You get what you emphasize, I think, and you know, I think a lot of people really emphasize. I know we do. Where you do a lot of drills, and you've got to find where you think you can get them. You know, you're always trying to find that weak link, just like an offense or a defense would, and you try and attack it.
Do you think any of it's related to how good the kickers are now, that you guys have come up with different schemes to attack certain weaknesses?
Because the kickers are better?
Yeah, that you're just trying to throw them off or do anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think that's it. It's just finishing. I think it's just finishing, and you get guys in the right spot and understanding that every play is huge. You know, I think stressing it and the stress of special teams, and there's just been a lot of really, really good blocks. And some of it was just technique on the other side as well. You know, especially some of those block on field goal.
John Machota with The Athletic. The other day, Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio was talking about how much of an advantage he thinks that the prepping the kicking balls and having them for multiple games, being able to practice with them has given an advantage to the kickers. Do you see it that way, or how do you see it compared to previous seasons?
I think the kickers are just better and better and better every year. The K-ball may have some degree, but I think it's more the comfort with the ball, but because it's broken in. I don't know if a ball would travel further, you know? I feel like every year you've got these kids, their legs are just so much stronger, you know? And I think it's just the evolution of, just like you see more and more combines. Did they change the turf in Indy like a lot, or is it the shoes, or they're just way more guys running 4.4s and 4.3s? I just think stuff is so much more specific these days in sports, and it probably starts at a young age. I don't know. And maybe the ball is a slight reason for it, but I just think in everything, everyone's just getting better, and the kickers there's a lot of really good kickers.
And then also on the kickoffs, you know, obviously you don't want to just kick it through the back of the end zone like you see obviously in college, but can you just talk a little bit about Brandon's ability, I guess, to do some of the stuff he was doing Sunday night by putting the ball in places where it puts you guys in an advantageous position? Yeah,
that was big. I think he had 3 of them that hit in the landing zone and became those, I think they go minor touchbacks, to where now we get it to 20. Those are ideal. Those help a lot. When they're not getting it to the 30 or even the 25, you gain 5 yards right there. Or the ones that carry, now it lands in the end zone. You want to be near the goal line but not in the end zone is what everyone's really trying to do. So those were really good kicks. I think he had 3 of them last game.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. He did have 3 of them. What can you attribute to his soccer background that can help with that landing zone touchback, if you will?
I think it's just he's an athlete. You know, I don't think he gets as much credit for that. He's athletic, and there's nothing that makes him be like robotic. You know what I mean? The way he approaches the ball, he can do different things, and I think soccer did help because you have to kick it so many different ways. But I think a lot of the kickers probably played soccer at some point, and a lot of the punters you see coming from Australia, that have done rugby. So there's kind of been this evolution of kickers that are like, I think I might be able to kick a football, much like how he came up. And it definitely helped him being able to manipulate the ball, I would think.
How much do you guys rep that during the week? What does that look like for you guys?
Oh, we get it a couple days. We try and get him to hit a couple when it's our kickoff and then our kickoff return. So he'll hit a few today and yesterday.
And then that last kick return in the fourth quarter from Turpin to get it, I think it was to the 47. Was there anything special about that, or was that just Turpin being Turpin?
Turp being Turp, and guys were blocking. I think on that one, James Houston had a good key block. And it really opened up the edge, and our guys were fighting to get their leverage and stay on their blocks. And I think Quez had a good one on the one outside, but Turp can take it anywhere.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. Shoddy told us yesterday he thought when he was in Seattle that the head coaching opportunity may have passed him by. You were with him there. How do you compare sort of the Shoddy then to the Shoddy that you joined here?
I don't think he's changed at all. I think it's always been him. He's always been consistent. This is who he is. I always felt like he was destined, like he was a head coach. You just know when you're around him. I thought that way with him in Seattle. I thought that way in Jacksonville too. So when this came about, I was fired up for him, and then when he called, I was even more fired up to work with him because I always knew. You just know, like he's a head coach. He's a heck of an offensive play caller too. He was good in that role too. But this is who he is.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Wanya Thomas said there's like a soft side or leaker that he thinks not just you guys, but all these teams are kind of pounding to get these block kicks. How much does that play into the spike and those kind of things?
Yeah, we for the block you're talking about. Yeah, we look for that guy or that side, and then we communicate in game too if there's changes or how the guys are feeling. I think it's huge having the conversations and communication with players in game, no matter what phase it is, because they're out there, they feel it, and we can make the little adjustments. But that's what tape is. You're always looking for that weak link or, like you said, that leaker to where you want to attack. That's all about scheme.
And is that just, if a kicker lines up on the left hash, is that just the right hash and vice versa?
It depends. Yeah. For the most part, you want to be rushing where the ball flight is. So most times you're going to see, if it's on the left hash, you're going to be rushing the right side. Some teams will come off the boundary here and there and change it up. And for the most part, if it's in the middle, teams will try and rush up the middle, and you can fire guys off either edge too. Just depends on the situation.
Babe.
Babe Loffberg, 105.3 The Fan, Cowboys Radio. We're going to beat this horse to the ground, I know, but you always preach to guys, hey, get a push, get your hand up, and you can go a whole year, and guys go, oh, geez, what am I wasting my time for? So with all these blocks, the first 4 weeks of the season around the league, you notice guys now perking up, saying, our time to get one?
I don't think for them, I don't think it mattered about the league. For us, it was showing where we are and how close we were. Remember before I had said Wanya was close on 2 of them the week before. I was like, we're close. We're going to get one of these soon. And that was just him. On that block we had in the game, I thought Osa had blocked it. The way that he knocked back, I thought it was him when I saw it live because he had, based on the call, he had such good push and knockback that I think he might have blocked it if Wanya hadn't. So for us, it's always focusing on us and how we can get better at what we're doing, and that's not just BS. It's the truth. Like, whatever's happening in the league, if we happen to play a team that gave one up, yeah, then we should do it too. But it's more just us getting better at the technique and the finish so we can get the block.
And along those same lines, obviously the flip side of that is you better be solid in how you're protecting.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
so
definitely.
You're showing that as well, right? I mean,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Not that you weren't before, but
yeah, no, always. We go through that stuff every week. Just like the team we're playing, they've had a guy that leapt over and, he leaped over and blocked one against Tampa. So they see all that stuff. We show it to them.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. What makes Wanya so good at blocking kicks?
Really, in that position for what he's doing there, number one, it's always get off. You have to have great get off. I always say it's get off. It starts with, first is belief that you're going to get there because it could be anybody that's rushing on that side. And then it's his get off and then it is finish. And in that one, he was just missing it because once he landed after he jumped through, he wasn't getting vertical. So after the first, he almost blocked the first one that game too. It's like, dude, you're close. You just got to once you hit it, you got to get vertical. And then he did, and he got it. And for him, the timing's great, but he doesn't do it by himself. It's a combination between Donovan Ezeraku that's next to him, who's, he's executing a particular technique that helps Wanye, and then also the get off by CJ, because now ideally you're getting that wing on by himself 2-on-1. You're trying to get these 2-on-1s in field goal block. It just depends on who you're trying to work. And in that one, those guys help Wanye, along with him executing his job really well.
Yeah, and Wanye had a very similar block in 2023. That week, CJ told him he was going to get a block. Apparently, this past week, CJ told him this is going to be the week we get a block. You talk about belief. How much does CJ?
Oh, 100%. CJ's great. He's always talking during the game to the players one-on-one. He's talking to me. He's talking to Carlos Polk, my assistant, and he's just a great resource. But he's always in a positive mindset of what we're gonna do. It's never, oh man, no. He's always got that same mindset that we have, which is awesome.